Hi, welcome to my demonstration video. In this video, I'm going to write a bash script. So this script will configure, install Apache and configure it to act as a load balancing server. Okay, so basically we need to provide the IP address of the backend servers. So we will providing the hard-coded IP or something to the bash script, but later when we actually have the real IP, then we can modify our script to use those IP addresses. Okay, so let's go ahead and do it. So I don't have anything in this Linux, so I'm gonna create this script. I will call it configure load balance load balancer.sh and has bang bin bash. So I'm going to outline the things that we need to do. First thing to do would be update the Linux operating system, and I want to be very specific. So this script will be for Ubuntu. This script is to run in Ubuntu system, in Ubuntu Linux. Okay, so this is the first thing we need to do: update the Linux operating system. And second thing to do is install Apache and enable it. Okay, and then second thing would be to do, we need to set up Apache as a load balancing server. We need to enable a few modules. So enable necessary modules to set up load balancing function. And then after that, we need to write a Apache configuration file. So create a load balancing, create a configuration to make Apache as a load balancing server. Okay, so one more thing I would like to do here, if that is okay. At the moment it will just set up the Apache as a load balancing server. Okay, this is the outline, and let's go ahead and do it. The few easy stuff right now is update the Linux operating system. Since it's Ubuntu, it will be apt update. Okay, and in case for some reason it could not complete update, or it has, let's say, some error happened and it could not finish. So we want to know. So we want to stop our script, right? So let's write if $what, that's the, and not equal to 0, which is the exit code. If not equal to 0, then obviously something happened, right? Something wrong happened. So 1 2 3 4. So I want to say echo error in updating the system and exiting. So we need to specify exiting. So exit, I will say 1. One thing that's bothering me here is when I hit the tab, it gives me the 8 spaces. So I just want 4. So I will quickly go ahead and do that. Sudo nano sudo bi etc nano rc and find tab. Okay, this is what I need to change. Set tab size to 4 and save it. Okay, it's good now. So we can actually now go ahead and run this script. So let's right now we need to make the script executable. So sudo chmod and then now we can run it. It's a sudo and configure. That's going well. That's great. So one thing I want to add in my script is sometimes it prompts and asks to restart the services, which we don't want to do it while running our script. So I need to actually disable that feature. So what I go do is make use the front Debian front end in non-interactive. So that means export the environment variable Debian front end equal to non-interactive. When we do this, while this script is running, it will not give any prompt. So this is to prevent the prompts. Okay, this is good. Now what I want to do is, the first part is done. The second part is update, install Apache and enable it. So let's do this. Sudo, or we need to use sudo apt install Apache 2. And one thing I actually forgot, that app update -y, I don't know, and then also Apache 2 -y, because we don't, sometimes it asks for the it prompts to answer yes, so we're just giving it our approval. Install Apache and enable it. The thing here is it will go ahead and install the Apache 2. It will install it. So actually we could even make our script better by writing a check, like checking if Apache is previously installed, then we could just skip this, but I'm not doing this now. So we just install Apache Now after we install Apache, we need to enable it, right? So systemctl enable Apache 2 dot service. Yeah, that's done. And everything goes well here. We want to say, actually, we want to say if systemctl enable Apache 2 services, then echo Apache service enabled successfully, else echo error in enabling Apache service exceeding. Yeah, let's run this one. So executing, and Apache service enabled successfully. Good. That's beautiful. So second thing to do now, what is next thing to do? It's a simple script, so it doesn't have to be very advanced. We need some modules that we need to enable, right? So what I can do here is like okay, so what I can do is Apache to enable mode proxy, Apache to enable mode proxy HTTP, Apache to enable mode proxy BALANCER, Apache to enable mode, this is LB method by request, by request. So these are the module I need to enable. So I'm running this command, the same command, but different modules I'm enabling. So this action actually can be done with the use of some sort of like loop. So that's what I'm going to do here. I will write a simple loop, and that will make our code efficient. Okay, so let's make this script efficient using the list. So we can say, let's say the modules equal to, the first module is Apache 2 enable proxy space no comma proxy HTTP space proxy BALANCER balancer, and the last one LB method by request. And this is the list. And so for mod, for module in dollar to represents the whole list variable, and the list goes inside the curly braces. So modules and this is how it represents the items here. For more in modules, do what you want to do right now is just echo, just to see how it goes. Dollar mod and done. Right, so let's save it and we can run this script now. Yeah, looks good. We get proxy, HTTP, proxy, balancer, and LB method by request. Okay, now actually we can go ahead and install that now. Now instead of echoing this one, we actually want to do something here. So what you want to do is Apache 2 enable mod, that's the command, $mod, and after this dodge, and it will come back and it will repeat all of it. And if there is any error, so this is very important here, let's implement our check. Inside that, if any error, let's say dollar questions mark is not equal to 0, which means the exit status code is not equal to 0, then echo not equal to 0, then echo error in enabling. We can actually tell the mod exiting. Exit, this is our exit number. How about I keep track of it? Exit 1 already used, this is exit 2. Exit 2. But let's say it's going well, then else we want to say something like echo module $mod is enabled. Yeah, and finally we can exit out of this. So this one should be here. Okay, Ctrl Enter X. I hope that works. Okay, error, module LB method by request does not exist. It says module proxy balancers enabled. We can see here is module proxy, module proxy enabled, module proxy HTTP enabled, and module proxy balancer is enabled. Error, and we are saying error in enabling LB method by request exiting. So LB method by request doesn't exist. Now I know what's the reason, because it's not by request, it's plural. Yeah, that's a good thing that we have those checks. Yeah, so if I just run this again, it should be all right. Yeah, module LB method by request is enabled. That's good, very good. Now, so now this bit where we need to actually configure to make Apache as a load balancing server, right? So what we need to do is we need to write the configuration just like this. So this is what we need to, this content we need to put inside the Apache configuration. So what I do is, the first thing first, let's in the variable, let's declare some variables. So config name, config. So what are you going to call it? Config name? Config file name equal to, let's call it lb.conf, and path to config file, path to config, path to Apache config. This is where we want to put. So this will be like etc Apache 2 sites available, and just put this config file name. That's all we need. So let's copy this one and control this, control B. Okay, now here what I want to do is I need to write a multi-line config. So I'm going to use this one, cat / and this is where we want to put our content, and this is where redirect into file, and I'm just gonna copy this configuration from here, Control C, and paste here, and at the end I will say enter file. That's it. But the few things that I need to know here is server name. So we need to find a way to get the IP address of the server. So I will use here, let's say server name or IP. Okay, bit long, but that's fine. And balance member. So we also need, we don't have it here, it's hard coded right now. So what will I do is server IP and server 2 IP, server 1 IP. This is what we need to do. So once we run this script, it will go to this path, this directory, which is where is it, which is this, and it will create this lb.conf file there, and it will write this content there. But right now we don't have a server name or IP. So if we just, okay, let's hardcode something here, random value at the moment. Let's say random number, that's fine. It will go ahead and write that. So if this job does well, and then I want to check here if $what not equal to 0, then is not equal to 0, then it's not working, right? So echo error in creating a dollar, the config file name add dollar, what was that? Config file name at this path to Apache config. Just need to copy. Here. So exiting, and exit number, I believe it's 2. I'm going to give it exit number 3. I could simply say exit, right? If else, if it is done well, I can say this config file name created add this, put successfully, and then exit. Okay, let's run this. lp.conf created add successfully. Is it true? Let's check this. So let's grab this file path and just sudo cat. Oh, what did I do? Really, etc Apache 2 sites available. Oh no, what went wrong here? Maybe I need to provide this part accurately. That's what I believe. Sites available dollar config file name lb.conf, and that's not good. It did not exit. Okay, save this and run it again. Okay, let's check. Sudo cat, let's see, Apache 2 sites available. Oops, what happened? It doesn't have that conf file, which is kind of interesting. And it says that it did. So what might have happened? Let me. Okay, so actually I had to pause the video and figure out how to do it. So I changed few things here. So the config file is lv.conf, and we have a Apache path Apache. Okay, let me change it to Apache path to Apache config. So let's copy this variable, and what you want to do is actually we want to move to that directory first. Okay, cd okay, path to Apache config directory, and then in that directory we want to write. So what's our config file name? Config file lb.conf. So what I'm gonna do is okay, just after this, cat to $config file. That's the name of the config file in that current directory, and EOF. So again we go back, copy the configuration and paste it here and enter file. So this is it. So, and this script actually checks. So if there is any issue, any error, we will get this config file. So right now it's not config file name, it's the config file. Add path to, okay, is path to Apache config. Path to Apache config and config file. If it is successful, then config, and we want to say here config file created, add successfully. Okay, so let me save it and run it. So basic yes with sudo configure load balancer. Good. It says lp.conf created at this directory. So let's check that. Cat, I will just copy this path and add here lb, which we can see, but the server name and this value is definitely wrong. So we need to update the IP address of the server, the public IP address, and we also need to update the backend server IP. So right now actually I don't know how to do that, how to update the backend servers, because we need a backend server running for that, and we might need to, I believe we need to update this value manually. So what happens is we launch our backend server first, and we then after we can create the list of IP and provide that list of IP to be written here. Okay, let's not worry about that at the moment. Let's fix on this, how to get the server IP. Okay, that's the main deal at the moment. So I'm gonna use, okay, let's go back to here. So we need a server IP. So what I'm gonna do here is definitely, let's say it's server IP or server domain name. So say $server IP. Okay, and let's get that value at first place. So server IP. So how can we get the server IP? I think that's pretty easy. So I would like to do some demo first, test on my system. So in the Ubuntu, I mean in every Linux, I believe if we do IP address, so we get this, and we can filter this out with grep, and I can say inet, so it will give me line with that contains inet. So if I want to be very specific here, I can say inet. Yeah, we got that inet. And okay, but we don't want this. This is not our public IP address. This is IPv6. So this is what we need. So we need the third line, first, second, third line. So what you can do is you can use the awk command. So awk command can help us to get the third line. So number of record equal to 3, and if I do here print $1, which means it prints the entire field of the third row, which is sorry, my bad, just say print. Yeah, we got that. But what we want is this, right? Which is basically, it is separated by this space, so we don't need to use the field separation parameter. It's first field and it's the second field. So what you can do is just print second field, which is this. That's awesome. But still we need only IP address, right? So now we can again pass this into the awk command, and here we can use awk command again and use the field separator. So the field is right now, we can delimit by this / and okay, so we split the input. Okay, so we need to say here 1, which represents the entire field, and A for some variable to hold the value, and the delimiter is this one that we know that. Well, that's even easier. I don't need to use a split function here. If I use /, then first item is what I need, right? So print $1. Perfect. Yeah, so I just need to grab this and use that in my script. Okay, so server IP is this, but I need to run a subshell here and store the value here. All right. So if we run this script now, we should have the server IP there. Okay. Sudo configure okay, let's check. Cat Control Shift and conf. You can see it actually replaced this with our actual IP address. This is our IP address. That's good, but we also need to update this value here. So right now we don't have this value. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create the argument. So make it simple. Okay, so yeah, provide the list of backend server IP. So this is where we can provide the backend server IP, and then we can write. So how we can do this is, if you provide the backend server IP in the list, it will read through each item in the list and it will write that within our okay, this is what we're gonna do. So okay, just okay, so to fix this problem, I have come with new idea, which is actually exciting. So instead of using balance member 1 2 3 4, no, we are just using only one here. So just write here, this is a script. So balancer member will be listed below. Okay, so this is the line we will match, and once this line match, we will append a new line right here, and like 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 space. So that's the plan. So how to do that? To do that, what you need to do is okay, first we want to get the list of all the IP list of IPs of all the backend servers, right? So that's the first thing we need to do, and we want to use that list to append the value below in this file. So we want to update this file with the proxy member. So it should be like this: balancer member this, balancer member this, like that. Okay, so what you're gonna do is okay, let me implement that one here. Let's say update. Well, we can't do it here, we need to do it here. So we already have created a file to the path to Apache config directory. So what you want to do here is now provide the full list, the absolute path to that file. So what I do here is path to config file, so which will be this one. And then we need to use $config file. That's it. So okay, path to config file. So let's take this here. Okay, let's go down and we'll be working here. So updating the back end servers, servers IP in the Apache config file. So what you can do here is, yes, we need the list of all the IPs. So the first thing to do here is we're going to use this command, sed. This is the tool I'm going to use, and I want to find for this pattern. So look for the pattern. The pattern we are trying to find here is this: hash balance member will be listed below. Okay, copy that one and paste here. So that's the pattern we're trying to match. Balancer member will be listed below. Once this pattern match, what you want to do is append a new line, and in the new line we want to give like 8 spaces. So first space, and we need to escape the space 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So there is 8 space from the left margin, and then we want to write there, what we want to write there is essentially this: balance member this. Okay, but the thing is, we don't have this IP detail right now. So instead of providing this IP in the port, what we do here is just provide dollar IP colon port. That's what we provide here. Okay, and we need to provide from which file, right? So we know that which file is this. The file is this: path to config file. Control Shift C. Guys, just let me do one thing here. Sudo nano -s. Okay, that looks good. IP port here, right here, and this is the path, right? So actually it will, this is the input file. In that input file, it will look for the pattern hash balance member will be listed below. Once that's fine, it will append, and it will have this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 space. Then it will write a new line: balance member colon and IP port. So the IP port is a variable which we need to provide. So let's do that. How we can do that is provide the IP list. So what you're gonna do here is go on the top and say IP list, which we need to fill it. So right now I'm just going to use a demo one. Let's say the first one is this. just for demonstration. The second one is this. So I need to update here a few information. Run this script. Run require. These scripts require the list of IP addresses running behind the Apache server. So right now, we will be providing this manually. So IP list. So we need to look through this IP list, list, right? So let's do that. So for IP port in $for variable and curly braces for the list, and IP list square bracket and this one colon do. So here we need to give it a space, this one, and yeah, and then do, and it will find balance member will be listed below, and it will update this value, and then we can say done. So if it goes as expected, so we want to say check if dollar not equal to 0, then say error in updating the balancer member IP. So exiting. So exit, just say exit. Then if, okay. Now let's go ahead and try this one if it works or not. So we can see right now, let's see Apache sites available. This looks like this, but it's gonna be changed. Okay, so sudo, I'm hoping this works. Okay, there's a problem. SCD-C expression unterminated address, regular expression, under address. Okay, so just check what is there now. Yes, there is this one. Balance member will be listed below, which it didn't work. So that's what we need to figure out how to do it. There is some error now. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use without this. Okay, let's make it this large and then run. See what's wrong. So all good from so far here. What I want to do is do echo $IP port and SCD Oh no, a mistake here. It should be this way to match. This way. So to match the pattern, we use /. Once this match, and this A for append this line, path to config file. This should work now. Sudo configure can't read path to config file. Okay, it's not bad now. What is wrong there? Okay, I know what is wrong. It's pretty obvious. I think you guys already have noticed this where I'm wrong. Here, $path to config file. Simple thing, you know. Okay, let's run this again. Looks like it did work. Okay, I can see the problem. Okay, I need to remove that. Oh no, it should be the escape character. My bad. So what I'm gonna do is first actually change etc Apache 2 sites available, and where is it? It says this one here, and it's balance member. This we got that. And again we got another IP here. That's a leap. Sorry, IP as a part of loop. Now I know definitely that I don't need to echo that IP, but what I need to do is, this is actually escape character, so we need to say here space escape character 1 2 3 4 5. Well, one space. Yeah, this is okay. First space, escape that one. Second, to third, fourth, fifth. Okay, my mind is melting. First, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth. So this 8 space 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8, yeah, and it should work now, and then done. But we need to make a change in place, so it doesn't work until I write this here. Okay. Okay. Let's check what is there actually. Ooh la la, this is what we wanted to see, right? That's perfect. So it updated that information we gave it to it. So what you want to do here is, we want that exactly. So if we go here, where I'm putting my 1 2 3 4. That's fine. It's fine. It doesn't have to be in the same line. Okay. So far so good. Now after this, what you have to do is actually we need to now so we are still in the same directory, I believe, because we moved to that config directory. So what we have to do here is now actually we need to enable that setting. So enable the config. So Apache to enable site, and name of the config is, what's the name of the config? It's a config file. Config file, and final check. Yeah, I know I'm using this redundantly, so what I'm gonna do is write a kind of a function at the end of this, and just use that function to pass something here, so that will make it not so redundant. So error in update email. So what I want to say here is exiting. So error in enabling the site, which is $config file, exiting. Or we could say exit, else we could say $config file is enabled successfully, that we can say, right? So let's go ahead and run this one. Sorry. Okay, is it true? elp.conf is enabled successfully. Okay, then we need to then if it is successfully done, then what we can do is we can actually, after that part, restart Apache service, which is systemctl restart Apache 2.service, and again we need this guy. Yeah, I can see we need to write a function for that. I will do that, implement that. So error in enabling, so error in starting restarting Apache 2.service. So we would say exiting and exit, or echo. We would say Apache 2.service is enabled successfully. Run this. Is it real? Let me check. Systemctl status Apache 2.service is real. Okay, it did this work, but still I'm not happy with this script. It has a lot of redundant thing that I need to fix. So what I'm trying to fix, what I need to fix is, you see there's a script like this script like if this error in updating the system, and the same thing is repeating here. This is a little bit different, but still this is repeating, and I can say this is repeating here again. This is repeating here again inside. So what I want to do is, instead of, I'm going to write the function, and I will just need to call that function, and that will do the same thing. Okay, so let's write a function that take away all that redundant script. Okay, so basically what you need to do here is write a functions, right? Okay, function to check if the exit code is greater than 0 in order to exit and not proceeding further. Okay, so let's call this function, we should give it a name, right? So what makes sense? Check if any error. Okay, so that's the function. So in Python we write def, but here we don't need to write anything, just write check if any error. Check for error. ERR. That sounds good. That's our function. So we write our body of the function between the curly braces. And our functions, actually we need just two arguments. One is if the exit code is not 0, which means no error, we can proceed. But if it is exit code is not equal to 0, something wrong in the standard, there is some standard out error, and we want to exit, right? So check. So let's define the variable, the argument local. First one, let's call success. So success equal to $1. Whatever value we provide as a first argument is the success, and second, fail. Whatever value we provide as a second argument is a fail message. We want to say success message and the fail message, right? And now here we do the job, real job. If dollar questions mark is not equal to 0, which means something wrong, then echo success message, fail message. And we want to add here one thing here, exceeding. Just put the fail message. and we want to exit. Else it's not equal to 0, it's equal to 0, then say dollar success message, and we want to say continue. We don't want to exit if that is the case. This is our function, check for error. So we need to call whenever we see the situation like this, right? So let's go one more time. So we have a local variable here, success message equal to 1, and local variable fail message equal to 2. So the first argument for the success, second argument for the fail. If this $what, that variable is not equal to 0, which means failure, echo fail message and exiting. I want to put here some space. Maybe I want to do exiting in the second line. That would look good. Sorry. Say exiting and else and exit. Else, which means equal to 0, then equal success message, and yeah, we don't need to write this one. Success message. Okay, so let's do this. Let's call the function check for error. Export, we don't need to write any check for error, but we can do it, right? Second, app update. So here we can replace the whole thing, this whole thing, with one function. Okay, so here check for error, but we didn't give any round bracket in bash shell like in Python, space. The first is the success message. We can say system update is complete. And second message can say error while updating the system. That's it. We don't need to say exiting. So we can literally delete all this. Let's check this one if it is working. Then we can continue with scripts. Line 24. Control shift this, line 24. Where is that? Okay. Oh, I see. I know we need to close here. Yep. That's the problem with writing a script. Okay, all I want to see is that message. Yeah, it's here. System update is complete. That's beautiful. Now let's make it even beautiful. So the first thing first, we want to put this message with some differences. So what we can do is we can create some in this script. whatever message we put here, echo, and at last echo and success message, echo to make it stand out. System update is complete. That's good. Now we can go ahead and fix this. Check for error. Okay. What about here? If system then, so this is different. So do we need to write a function? The best thing if you write a function here, right? Then what you can do is call this function systemctl enable Apache to service. Pass the command there. Okay, let's not worry about that right now. So here we're using this one. So what you can do is, instead of that and that, if then check for error, and definitely we need to provide the message. So enabling dollar mod is successful. Second message is error in error while enabling $mod. So if you write that, we don't need to write this part, and this part. So for mod in this, do mod and then just run this function just after that. That's beautiful. Check for error while enabling mod. That's so lovely. So let's go for more, check for error, and let's run this because we need to check it's working. Can see enabling proxy HTTP successful, enabling proxy boundary successful. That's fantastic. Go further down. CD and cat. In here, you see all this line can be replaced with this. So all I have to do is call the function check for error, and the first function I need to copy is success story. And the second one is the failed message. But we don't need to say exceeding. That's even better, right? So now what I can do, this, see, this is the beauty of function. Just it removes so much space, unwanted space, and updating the backend server IP in the Apache config file. Done. And we have a checking here, which I'm going to replace this function, call the function here, check for, well, before I do this, let's check this if it's working or not. That's beautiful. And here we did, and then this one. So this is the message I'm going to replace. So check for error, and the first message is error in updating the balance member IP. I need to say successfully updated the IPs of backend server. Second message, which I just can copy from here. I can remove this line of code. Enabling the config. So again, I'm going to remove this whole thing, this whole block, just by one function. Check for error. The success message is $config file is enabled successfully. And the failure message is this: error in enabling the site. So just and now we can delete this. Restart the service. Yeah, so easier. Check for error. And what's the message? Error in restarting the Apache service. Suppose, right? The success message. And the second one is this. Okay. Maybe one thing I want to do here is, I don't want to write Apache service. I just want to write $service name, and here also using the service name. Then I don't need to write this, but I need to declare service name up in our variable sections. Okay. called service name equal to Apache 2 dot service. One thing I can do here is control look for Apache 2 dot service. Okay, this is the only place we have used. So here we can say instead of Apache 2 dot service, we can say dollar service name, and that looks to the end of the end of this script, right? So let me run this script one more time. I've been doing this for like 1 hour, almost like 30 minutes. So this is the last script that I'm going to run for the last time. Okay, so what I'm going to do is just run sudo configure. If you look through this, that's good. Okay, thank you guys. That's all for this video.